Hey y'all, my name is Mare. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting a fun little holiday themed reading vlog where I let Easter eggs pick what I read. So basically how this reading vlog is going to work is that I have a bunch of different reading prompts inside each Easter egg in this basket. So I am basically going to be picking an egg, and then whatever prompt is inside that egg I have to fulfill, and I'll read that book, come back, pick another egg, and so forth. And I'm just really excited because I have some prompts in here that I do not want to do. I have some prompts in here that I'm really excited about. So fingers crossed that this game is really nice to me and that we can have a fun, peaceful reading vlog full of books that I actually am interested in. But I'm just really nervous because it's all up to fate. It's not up to me. I mean, it's up to me in the fact that I put all these prompts in there, but I tried to be fair and put some equally bad and equally good ones. So let's just kick this reading vlog off. Let's pick our first prompt. I'm scared. Okay, I don't know what to do. Okay, I feel like I should go with yellow. I'll do it like the beauty influencers do, and I'll put the, oh, why does my hand look like that? No, thank you. So I could do a yellow egg. I feel like I should do yellow because it's my favorite color, but also I'm wearing a lot of pink today. I did pink eyeshadow and I matched it with my little pink striped shirt. So, okay, I think we're gonna go with pink just because I match. I'm scared. Instagram pics. Oh no. Okay. Let me pick a few books that I'm really interested in reading, and then I'll let Instagram decide which of those I'll read from. What should I pick for them? I'm gonna put an Instagram poll up with The Ravens, The Inheritance Games, and then I'll also put Lore as the last option, and then I'll come back and tell y'all what Instagram picks, and then I'll start reading it. I'm nervous, but let's do this thing. Happy Easter. So the Instagram verdict is in, and it looks like I'll be reading The Inheritance Games. I'm kind of bummed about this, not because I don't want to read it, but I was really excited about The Ravens, and the poll was pretty close from the outside looking in. It had 34 votes, and The Inheritance Games had 37. Lore wasn't even close. Y'all don't want me to read that for some reason, but I really want to read The Ravens, and a few people know that, and so they voted on multiple accounts. So even though it's kind of close, I don't really think it's close. So I'm going to be reading The Inheritance Games because that seems to be what y'all want me to read, and I'm really excited. So this book is a Knives Out Cinderella retelling, and it basically is about this girl who is offered the chance to win the inheritance of a guy that she never knew, but she has to go live at this house and compete in a competition, do all these riddles, solve this mystery, something like that. When I read the synopsis, it gave me Truly Devious vibes, which is one of my absolute favorites young adult series, one of my favorite series in general. It's just a lot of fun, and I really liked the mystery elements to it. So I'm really excited to see what The Inheritance Games has in store for me. So I'll update you guys when I have some thoughts on this book. I am now halfway into The Inheritance Games, and I'm really enjoying this one. So it's just fun. I think that the premise is very enticing and engaging, and it makes you want to keep flipping the pages. The mystery is really interesting, and I just think that the concept is super interesting because Avery, our main character, gets thrown into the world of the Hawthorne house after Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her his fortune. But no one knows why, because Avery's never heard of this man, and no one in the Hawthorne house knows why she was chosen. So it's engaging to want to figure that out. I hope that that is answered within this book because I know that this is supposed to be a duology, so I hope we find out why Avery was picked by Tobias Hawthorne to have his inheritance. If we don't, I think I will be a little bit disappointed in this one, but beyond that, it's just a really fun time. I think that the characters are all super funny. There's a lot of times that I've laughed out loud in this book, and I am wanting to puzzle together the mystery myself, which is my favorite in a thriller, because I have no idea where this is going, but I'm making really far-fetched guesses and trying to uncover the actual details and pick up clues and be like, okay, maybe this is what is important to the case, maybe this is what's going to happen, but I know that I'm going to be absolutely wrong in the end. So I'm just loving this. I think that it's super, super fun, and I just can't put it down. I think I read 130 pages back to back last night, which is very rare for me nowadays, and I just can't wait to finish this. So I'll talk to y'all in just a second, and then we'll pick my second prompt for this reading vlog. Hi. Okay, so I've officially finished The Inheritance Games, and here's my thing. I am thinking that I want to give this 4 stars, but I reserve the right to change my rating at any point because I just finished this 20 minutes ago and my brain has a lot to process, and so I'm not sure if I'm going to up my rating
or lower it. I don't see myself lowering my rating, but I really did enjoy this. I thought that it was gripping, but the middle kind of dragged for me a little bit, and I don't know if that's just because I was really invested in the story. I put it down for the night and then I came back to it and then I was not as invested just because I had spent time away with it. So I'm just wondering if this is a book that I'm going to think about a lot as time progresses, or if it's something that I really enjoyed in the moment, but I'm not going to remember much about, if that makes any sense. So that's why I'm kind of unsure if I'm going to change my rating, but 4 stars is still a really fantastic rating and a great basis point to sort of talk about this book. I really liked the mystery element of this. I think that there were a lot of really fun plot twists and a lot of fun clues that I didn't see coming, and I don't really think that I could have predicted anything that happened in here because, one, it's kind of outlandish, but also I just think that the author did a really good job of putting all these pieces to the puzzle together. I think that there's a lot of things in this book that wouldn't obviously happen in real life. I think you have to definitely suspend your disbelief, and that was my biggest, not even a criticism or complaint, because I don't think that this book pretends that it's not outlandish, but I think that you just need to have that expectation going into this book that things are not going to be reality even if it is set in our world. My only real critique with that was the fact that the house was literally huge. Like, this mansion was absolutely ginormous, and for what? Like, I get it, they're rich and they need to have all these places to explore and possibly find all these clues, but at some point I was like, is there really a house that exists that is this big? Like, I was just questioning that a lot. And my other thing that I didn't love about this book, I didn't hate it, but there was just a lot of characters in this book and it kept me really confused at some points. I was like, okay, wait, who's this person? Who's this person? What's their role? But I would slowly kind of remember who they were as I kept reading about them. So lots of characters, lots of clues, lots of house, but really fun mystery, a really fun time. Definitely had a lot of fun Cinderella elements. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the Inheritance Games. It wasn't a 5-star read. I did have this as a 5-star prediction, but I don't know, it just doesn't give me those vibes, and that's okay. I enjoyed my time with it, it served its purpose, and now it's time to pick my second read for this vlog. I'm scared, but let's just do it. I am feeling really called to this orangey red one. Let's hope that it's nice to me. What's in the egg? It's a weird phrase. Okay, please be something good, please. Wait, can you see it? Okay, I'm excited about this one. It says 5-star prediction. So I feel like I should be doing a book that's actually on my 5-star prediction video that I made. However, I want to read this so bad, and I really do think that this one is going to be 5 stars. I was really bummed that this book was not picked on Instagram for my first read, but I am going to make this happen, okay? I am going to read The Ravens because it sounds right up my alley. It's about witches in a college sorority, and if that doesn't sound like 5 stars, I don't know what does. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna go start this, and then I'll talk to y'all in a little bit with my thoughts on it. Hi friends, I am now officially halfway through The Ravens, and oh my god, I'm loving this book. I think that I was definitely right to put this as my 5-star prediction because I think that's where we're heading. I'm so excited. I actually started it tonight and I want to finish it tonight. Like, I'm loving it that much. I don't want to put it down. It's just so enthralling. So if you don't know what The Ravens is about, it follows 2 different girls in college. You're following Vivian, who is a freshman, and she basically pledges a sorority that is full of witches, and the sorority isn't like actually a sorority, it's basically a cover-up for a witch coven. And the other perspective that you're following is Scarlet, who is trying to be president of the sorority full of witches. And there's also a subplot going on where basically someone is telling the sorority, hey, we know you're witches and we know that you did something bad because they did something bad. And it's just so entertaining. I love the vibes. I love the college setting. I say it a lot, but I feel like there's not a lot of books set at college that I read about, and I am just loving that aspect. I think it's so cool just to see the sororities and the fraternities interact and just regular college things. It's so much fun. I love all the characters. Scarlet kind of annoys me, but I understand her. The vibes, y'all. The vibes are immaculate. I am gonna go finish it because I'm just way too excited about it, and then we'll chat afterwards. Guys, I finished The Ravens and I'm so excited to talk about this with y'all. So I read this because I thought that it would be a 5-star prediction. So was it actually 5 stars? No, It was not. But it was super freaking close. So I really enjoyed this book, and I might consider this a new favorite if I think about it long term. As of right now, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars because this book had a lot of things that just really worked for me. I think that if you have similar reading taste to me, you would probably adore this because it had a really cool mystery, it had a college setting, it also had a cool magic system, and it had a lot of different tropes and elements that I typically love when I read a book. So this just had the perfect math equation for me. It had all the boxes checked, and honestly, the execution was great. There's just a few things that I wanted more of. It wasn't that the book was lacking anything, it's just that I feel like it would have been an elevated experience if it had a few more details in it. The things that I feel were a bit lacking for me included just a little bit of character development. I feel like the characters really did grow throughout the book, but I wanted to see it just a little bit more. I feel like sometimes it was a really quick shift and I wanted a little bit more explanation as to how we got there. I also really just wanted more of the magic system. I think that was my biggest critique, is just that I really enjoyed the magic in this book and I really liked learning about how the witches use their powers. My favorite scenes in this book were when the witches were using their powers. But sometimes I thought that the scenes were over a bit too quickly, and I understood what was going on, but I feel like it would have been cool if we got to see the witches use their powers more and if we understood a little bit more as to how it worked. I would say be cautioned picking this up if you don't like pop culture references. There are a few in here. Sometimes they made me laugh. Sometimes they kind of made me realize I was reading a book and I was like, oh, okay, like they're trying to make me laugh, but this is just not working here. Overall, the pop culture references didn't bother me. There's one in here about Ratatouille that made me die. So I think that was just hilarious and definitely a fun inclusion, but I don't know how I would have felt about it if I was reading this book 10 years into the future. Do you know what I mean? There also is 2 romance subplots in this book, which kind of felt out of place to me, but again, I didn't really mind them. I just wish that there was a little bit more explanation and build up to it. I think that's my biggest thing with this book, is I just wanted more build up. I wanted more time with these characters, more time with the magic, more time with the world, and it's hard to accomplish in a book that is only 400 pages, but there is a sequel. I am just so excited to spend more time with these characters, with this world, and I really did adore this one. So definitely go pick it up if any of the things that I mentioned interest you. If you think you have similar reading taste to me, I think you're really going to like this one. Now, it is time to pick my last book. I'm nervous. I want to do the pink one again. I feel like the pink one was kind to me last time, so let's hope it's kind to me once again. Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to pick for this. So I got underrated YA fantasy. I'm excited about this. Okay, so for underrated YA fantasy, I'm going to be reading Lore by Alexandra Bracken. So this was already on my March TBR, so I'm really excited to read it. I'm reading it with my Discord, so if you aren't a part of it and you want to join us, it's just a bunch of people who like books in the community. Go ahead, it's in my description. You're more than welcome to join us. But we're doing a buddy read together of Lore, and I'm so excited to dive into this one. And I know that I said it's underrated. I know this is a pretty recent release, but I have heard very controversial things about this book. People either love it or hate it, and so I think for that reason alone, it is underrated. This could go a lot of ways, okay? It could be a hidden gem, or I could absolutely hate my life when I'm reading this book. And I actually don't know too much about this, except that it has Greek mythology and that it is super dark, but it's on the older side of YA fantasy, and that is just a combination of some of my favorite things in books. So I'm super excited to dive into this one, and I'll share my thoughts with y'all in just one second. I am now halfway through Lore by Alexandra Bracken, and oh my god, I love this book. I'm actually a little bit over halfway, if I'm honest, because I got too excited at the part in the book that I was at, and I literally could not put it down to update y'all. That's how good it is. Like, it's seriously phenomenal, and I genuinely don't understand why people don't like this book, because I have heard some scathing reviews for it, which is fine. Everyone has different reading tastes, but I am really curious to go through a bunch of 1-star Goodreads reviews after finishing this, because I need to understand. I need to know why people didn't like this, because in my mind, this is perfection. So Lore follows a young woman named Lore who basically has sworn off the Argon. Hi, it's me editing this video. I say Argon like 20 billion times. It's the Aegon, or however you pronounced it. There's no R. I don't know why I made that up, which is essentially Greek mythology meets the Hunger Games. So in the Argon, basically all of the original gods, there's certain gods and goddesses who are sent down to Earth kind of, and they become mortal. So for 7 days, people are able to kill these gods and then take their power, but then they have to consequently compete in the next Argon. So it's just such an interesting and unique concept. I absolutely love Laura's character. I think that she is such a strong and powerful female protagonist, and I love how she is just always willing to fight, always up for a fight. I just really love her character. I really love the side characters in this. I really love Castor, and I think that there's just such interesting dynamics between them, and I just love everything about this. I don't even know how to explain certain things that I love about this because nothing is wrong with this book. This book is absolutely perfect to me, and I wouldn't change a single thing about it. Like, that's how good it is. I think that Alexandra Bracken has done a wonderful job of setting up the pacing for this novel because there's never a boring moment in this book, but you're also still given time to understand this world that you're in, understand these Greek gods and how they're connected to this urban world, and then you're also able to ask questions and think about the mystery, like, oh, okay, like, how is this gonna happen? But then you're thrown in with these reveals and things that'll happen, like something just happened in the halfway point of this book, and that was why I couldn't put it down, because the reveal took me off guard. I did not expect that coming at all, and it was just such a good twist. So I am just loving this so much. I'm so happy that this reading vlog is going well because I feel like I never have 3 books for a vlog that I actually enjoyed very much so. So I'm excited to finish this, and I'll talk to y'all about my thoughts when I am done. I finished Lore, and I loved this book so much. I don't even know what I can say about it because this was the kind of book that I just started and loved it the entire way through. I think that there are definitely reasons why people wouldn't like this. I personally can't relate to that because I literally enjoyed every single second of this book to the point where I was like, okay, I really don't have time to read right now, but I'm going to abandon all my responsibilities to read this. And it still took me a while to get through. I think this book took me the majority of the week, which is pretty long for me, but I've just not had time to breathe. I haven't had time to read. I've just been so incredibly busy for no reason. I was really sad that I couldn't make time for this book as much as I wanted to, but honestly, I'm really happy that I got to drag the experience out because I just didn't want to leave these characters. I didn't want to leave this world. I cried at the ending. Like, I was like tearing up for no reason. I was like, oh my god. I thought that it was the perfect conclusion to this story. I thought that it was devastating, heartbreaking, but still hopeful, and I think that the concept of this book is just so unique and interesting. I've heard that this book is a bit gory for some people, and there was one scene in particular that I was like, oh, okay, that's gross, but I have read some gory books, and this did not compare to that. I think that it's very appropriately aged as, you know, an older YA fantasy. I think that pretty much any YA fantasy reader can pick this up and love it. It is more politically driven, and it does have a lot of plot points. I think that if you're more of a plot-based reader, this would be a better pick for you because while I did love the characters, I think that the plot was the most enticing aspect of this book, and it just was so freaking good. I gave this 5 stars if that wasn't evident. I definitely think that this is one of my new favorite YA fantasies, at least of 2021, so I'm so glad that I read this. I want more people to read it. I know that it just recently came out, but this book deserves any and all hype that it is getting. I do think it's a little bit underrated because, again, I just don't understand the bad reviews for this book, but to each their own. It's perfectly okay if you read this and you didn't like it. I'm definitely going to be picking up more by Alexandra Bracken in the future because this was my first book by her and it was so good. So I highly recommend Lore if you have not read it yet and it's on your radar. So that is all for this reading vlog today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a like. It would really support me, my channel, and subscribe down below for more book related content. I also have all my social medias linked down below, as well as ways that you can support my channel. I had so much fun doing this video today. I thought it was a really cool idea to let Easter eggs pick what I read, and I hope you guys liked it as well. So until next time, bye y'all!